And welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 3. My name is Alex. I am the Silver Mont. Not Doug or David, but me. Only me. And we've got a lot to talk about today. But first things first, we are going to drop. No, enough of your pumping. Let's drop her. What have we already dropped? Her, him, I don't know. Do that? Well, I know if we drop... Okay, let's drop one of these. And then let's also drop the Sieg Brew. Special brew for Siegwort of Catarina. Perfect for travel in its jolly barrel mug. Restores health and temporarily boosts frost resistance. Leave it to Siegwort to discover a drink that even an undead can enjoy. Perhaps his long years spent undead have left him wanting to drain a cup or two and revel as if he was still among the living. That's perfectly understandable. So we'll... Apparently, this bird really likes stuff. This is actually one of the first things I dropped her when I, found her. Because she says, what does she say, pump-a-rump? Or pump-a-rum or something? And I thought maybe she wants, shiny things and alcohol. Like an English teenage girl. She wants shiny things and she wants alcohol. And that's also the noise that English girls make. And there we get two little familiar items. A hollow once fought valiantly with this mask, but feared the fading of herself, and implored a comrade remember her name. Perhaps that is why this gentleman's mask is named after a woman. And it actually looks pretty cool in this game because it's all shiny and stuff. I used it quite a bit on my other character. Here we go, and then... Oh yeah. Chainmail armor and white coat featuring a large rendition of the holy symbol of the sun. The choice attire of a singular knight of sunlight from a previous age. The symbol was painted by the knight himself, but the armor never bore any special power, sacred or otherwise. And yeah, pretty much just Solair's gear. Right. Now, did I buy the key? I did. So, the handmaiden is selling this key. I just kept forgetting to buy it. Key to the barred door leading from the sewer, below the undead settlement, to a moist grave. The grave, which no longer receives visitors, was once the site of a statue of Velka, goddess of sin, and was believed to pardon wrongdoing and lift curses. Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, there is no pardoner in this game, but we do get the statue of Velka, which effectively does the same kind of thing. Right, so I think we're gonna finish up with the undead settlement today. There's a little bit more to do there, which we might as well do. Okay, so Grey Rat's no longer there because he's gone to go and scavenge, I suppose. He's gone to thieverize things. Alright, let's walk over to the undead settlement, and I'm gonna adjust my mic a bit during the loading screen because it's kind of falling over, just about propped up by a pillow. Which one do we want? I think it's this one. Sure, why not? The setup I'm using right now is pretty mind-blowing. I'm lying on my bed. Well, I'm not really lying, I'm sitting on my bed, and I have my microphone propped up next to me, leaning against a pillow. It's basically the best setup ever. It's not, it's the worst. Wait, did we have any, Estus things to hand in? No. Oh! That's what I forgot to do. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, notice our Dark Sigil now has, a 5 next to it. That means that it is level 5. Or that we have 5 of them, I don't know. I wonder if we can jump onto this thing. Oh, sure, why not? That works. Wow, that was amazing. I'm not really sure how hitting straight down killed something to the side of me. I guess my character is from Dark Souls 2 and has the power of shockwaves. I like that people only associate that with Dark Souls 2, even though it's actually in every Souls game. And Bloodborne, but it's... whatever. I know Dark Souls 2 has some stupid hitboxes, but every Souls game does. Maybe Dark Souls 2 has the most, but whatever. I forgot to buy a torch again, didn't I? Yep. No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And there's a loincloth, and pray to the statue of Velka, but first we're going to have a look at the statue of Velka. This isn't going to work. I really wish you could move whilst using the binoculars, but yeah. So Velka's back. Well, I say she's back, she's never really been, but I think this is the first time we've had a confirmed statue of her, though. Pretty interesting. You have not sinned. Now, I believe in... Now, this is a bit confusing, so, because I'm still on 1.1.01, but I believe in 1.02 or 03, basically the version that you're playing the game on when you're watching this, you can talk to the... Okay, you can't talk, you can pray to the statue and request hollow reversing. So, you know, we've got hollowing there, we can reverse that at the statue, as well as using, oh, what are they called? Gosh darn it. The curse thingies? I'm usually really good with Souls items, but for the life of me, I just cannot remember what it's called. Transposing? No. Well, you probably know what I'm talking about. We used one in an earlier part to reverse hollowing. Oh god, right, these are skeletons. They're like super resistant to thrusting, but they should be weak to blunt damage. See what I mean? Yeah, and this isn't even upgraded, this mace. Oh, they don't call it blunt damage, they call it strike damage, right? In case you didn't know, there are different types of physical attack in Dark Souls. You have standard, thrust, strike. Is that it? I think that's it. I'm gonna check. I might be forgetting something. Oh no, right, yeah, I forgot about slash. Alright, so you have strike, slash, thrust, strike, slash, thrush, and standard. Thrush, thrust. Thrusting is, of course, pretty obvious, like spears and stuff. Slashing is, like, generally katanas. Strike is, you know, like, blunt damage, like maces and hammers. And standard is kind of, you know, like, I think the longsword and stuff like that is standard. Yeah, like, here's the slash, thrust. And, of course, some enemies are weak to certain types of damage. The most obvious one, generally being, that I can remember, skeletons are weak to blunt damage because they're, you know, they're bones and stuff. I think sometimes it tells you what things are like if you read like the archetypal weapons like the spear, it will say like, yeah, can inflict high damage when timed to the end of da da da. I thought it said they're good against armored opponents, but well, it doesn't really matter all that much. But that's why I want the mace as my secondary weapon, so that I have a backup weapon that is also good for doing stuff. Yeah. The amazing skeletons are back with their jumping power, but they're also dead. Right, I want to talk about something quickly before I forget. So I get like 200 comments average a day around YouTube. I get like messages on Twitter, Facebook. I mean, I don't have the biggest channel in the world, Hang on, I'm just waiting for the enemy to appear here, like he did last time. Okay, he's not doing it. Maybe it was just a glitch then. I mean, it pretty much was a glitch because he appeared out of thin air, but I was just being careful. So yeah, I get a lot of comments. I mean, I don't have the biggest YouTube channel in the world. I have a pretty small one in the grand scheme of things, but I still get quite a lot of comments, you know? And... oh, what did I just pick up? Oh, okay, it was a heavy gem. So that's where you get a heavy gem. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think it happened off camera. But I spoke to Hawkwood just out of curiosity, and he gave me a heavy gem. He basically said like, "Oh, you've not given up. Good for you," and then gave me a heavy gem because he said he didn't need it. Sorry that I didn't record that, but sometimes I'm like not recording whilst I'm just like farming items or checking item descriptions and all that sort of stuff. There we go. And yeah, so sometimes stuff like that can happen, which I apologise for. Titanite shard, hooray. But yeah, so I get a lot of comments, and I would say 90+% of them are nice. Some are, obviously you get some dumb ones, but one of the big things I enjoy about YouTube is talking with people, you sick people, in the comments, you know? Like, that's why I make lore videos. My lore videos aren't me telling you what happened. They are me telling you what I think happened and offering you to tell me what you think happened. I didn't actually realise you could do this. I just happened to look up. Ooh. Ooh. Cool. So I guess you can get a blessed shield there. And blessed is an upgrade path that I believe is returning from Demon Souls. I think it was called Blessed in Demon Souls 2, where it basically regenerates your health. How much does that shield weigh? Does it take me over 70? Okay, it does. But yeah, watch. If I equip this, my health is very gradually replenishing. But making a shield... oh, that actually looks pretty cool. Got a lot... okay, no. It's got a lot of... God damn it. It's got a lot of nice detail on it. I mean, that generally applies to most things in Dark Souls, but hey, whatever. Yeah, so most of the comments I get are nice, some are not, and I want to keep comments on my videos almost all of the time, because even if people disagree with me, I don't want to, you know, like, silence them. I want people to have their say. Ow. Because that is kind of important, you know. If you stifle people's opinions and ideas and free speech, all that sort of stupid stuff, even if you personally don't like what they have to say or agree with it. That said, I have had to disable, well, okay, not disable, I have had to set comments to approval only on a few videos in the past. One sort of situation is where people are just posting spoilers, like before Dark Souls 2 came out, or sorry, just when Dark Souls 2 came out, like the week before and such. People were posting spoilers everywhere, so I had to, you know, slow down comments for a while for people to not get spoiled. The other case was last night, where, okay, well, there's some dialogue here, so I'll have to continue this afterwards. Very broken up, I know, but, okay, here we go.
Who is there? Is someone there? Anyone? Oh, please, whoever you are, touch me. The dark surrounds me, nibbles at my flesh. Little creatures, they never stop biting. So please, hold out your hand and touch me. Ah, yes, there you are. So close, indeed. Then I am not entirely alone just yet. Praise the merciful gods above. Oh, forgive me. I am Irina of Carim. I came to this land so that I might be a firekeeper. Your touch has freed me from the darkness. You are a champion, then? I am weak and unfit to tend the flames. But if it would not trouble you, might I enter into your service instead? Oh, thank you, sweet champion. I shall take my vows. I, Irina of Carim, solemnly swear to serve you.
You've gone and rescued her, have you? How very quaint. Pitying creatures that are beyond help. Very well. I'm sick of looking after her at any rate. I am Egon, a knight of Carim. I am allied to you for as long as you assure the girl's safety. And only for that long. What's the matter? My terms are very simple. I am allied to you for as long as you assure the girl's safety. And only for that long. What's the matter? I am an...
So in this game at least, or at this point in time, Carim seems to be... Well, you remember the Way of White in Dark Souls 1, how they were, you know, doing all these like pilgrimages? Oh god, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, look at these amazing trees. But and you can see these fires that we looked at earlier. But yeah, like you met... Oh, what was she called? She was with the two knights. Oh, Rhea, that was it. Rhea of Thorolund. So Carim seems to be taking some kind of hints from Thorolund this time. In that Carim is all about knights and maidens. Which I find interesting because it used to be full of arseholes. Like Lautrec, Chester. Well, there was Oswald, I suppose. Oswald was pretty cool. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So, I don't know, there's like some sort of weird... Okay, there's a lot of weird theories in the Dark Souls community. You know, like, Solera's the Firstborn, Seath created Priscilla, stuff like that, you know? Most of them are fine. I mean, you know, they're just what happens. But some, oh my god, they just annoy me. I say some, there's two in particular, both related to a character and both associated with each other, but we'll have to continue this after dealing with this guy. Because... You remember Vort? This dude is basically Vort's, okay, well, he's not related to Vort, probably, but this is an Outrider Knight from Irithyll, which I may be pronouncing wrong, but it's something like that. From the Boreal Valley. You can probably tell because he looks like Vort, although Vort was a lot chunkier. You might be thinking these guys look kind of like the Lois Knights. Oh, have they patched this guy? He used to follow you way further. Now that's actually another thing I need to talk about. It probably... I might be imagining it. Will he follow me through this door? Because he... Okay, yeah, he will. I guess it was just the first one. Oh crap, I don't want to be frostbitten. Right, so what you can do with this guy, if you're having trouble with him, is not do what I'm doing right now. You can The idea is to get him where I'm standing right now. Okay, here we go. Then... Whoa! Okay, he's not wanting to play ball. But yeah, if you can get him in that corner... And ow! Sometimes he will get stuck there. Or he did in the other patch. I don't know if I just got lucky or if they changed it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so you want him to be here. He can still hit you here, as you can see. But for the most part... It's very safe here, and you can... throw firebombs at him. You can poke him. Well, you can't really do it with much with a spear, but if you were using like a weapon with vertical attacks, I suppose, like overheads and stuff, you'd be able to hit him. I think you could also just run past him if you were having a lot of trouble, because his frostbite thing really builds up fast, and I think it's going to make me sneeze. Yeah, it did. Whoa, OP, please nerf. But you could run past him, but probably worth killing him because he drops a cool sword. They are very aggressive, these guys. Ow. Much ow. I'm still not entirely sure what frostbite does. Okay, he's just being annoying now, so let's kill him, I think. Okay, quiet, calm down, calm down. That was a terrible plunging attack. That was also a terrible plunging attack. He comboed me by falling on me. Here we go, that's the attack we want him to do. But yeah. Finally, he drops the Irithyll Straight Sword, which is awesome. And I used that for like my entire first playthrough just because I love how it looks. Where is it? Here we go. Because it has a permanent glow to it, which I think's really cool. But yeah, let's continue on now. So yeah, the two things I was talking about 4 years ago, a few minutes ago. Artorias being left-handed and Artorias being on the cover. Artorias being left-handed, I am perfectly willing to debate. I am pretty sure he's not left-handed, but you know, it's totally worth talking about, debating. I mean, it's kind of pointless in the grand scheme of things, but hey, so is everything when you're talking about like a video game. But you know, I'm perfectly willing to debate which is dominant hand for Artorias. But then we have the thing about Artorias being on the cover, and he isn't on the cover of Dark Souls 1. He's on the cover of the Artorias of the Abyss edition, and also, these guys look pretty chill, don't they? But when you get close... they go insane. But yeah, those guys... remember Dark Souls 1 harpy people? Yeah, I think this may be associated with that. But yeah, there is a... I don't know how many people there are, but there is a group of people in the community who are determined to convince other people that Artorias is on the cover of the vanilla version of the game, which he is not. He was not in the game, he's not on the cover. And yet, these people will... oh, they will just give these glib aphorisms about how certain they are that he's on the cover. They will be really rude about it, and they will say stuff like, oh, so here's all this evidence that he's not on the cover, But that's just wild speculation. It's like, really? You think that is wild speculation? Like, that is not speculation. It is wild speculation to say that Artorias would be on the cover, because, like how do you even come to that conclusion when you look at that cover? It boggles my mind, and at this point I'm just completely done talking about it, because it drives me demented. That right there is actually the noise I make every time someone says Artorias is on the cover. And most of the time it's also just because the guy on the cover is holding the sword in his left hand, which is actually kind of just evidence against it. Because the dude who designed the cover, or the lady, I don't know who did it, I'm 90% sure whoever did the cover for Dark Souls hadn't played Dark Souls, and they were just given a bunch of art and told to create a cover. And that's what they did. Because we have the Japanese Dark Souls cover, which is perfect. It, like, you see the elite knight staring off into an impenetrable darkness, sitting next to a bonfire, with their hand just about reaching for their sword. It's like one of my favourite game covers. And then we have the English Dark Souls cover, where it's basically just a dude in badly represented elite knight armour, with a sword that may be the Black Knight Greatsword, or Ultra Greatsword, maybe the Artorias sword, and who knows what shield, and he's holding it with his left hand, and he's basically waddling along, and it looks like there's a Demon Souls ghost staring at him. I mean, it's a fine cover, but doesn't really represent Dark Souls all that well. Speaking of representing Dark Souls, here's the Butcher Meat Cleaver lady, who's been in pretty much every Souls game. Although in this one she's I don't know, she's a bit slim in this one. She was a pretty beefy lady in Dark Souls 1. What was she called in Dark Souls 1 again? Miranda, was it? I can't remember what she was called in Dark Souls 1, but she was pretty beefy. Oh, no, Man-Eater Mildred, that was it. And yeah, you could summon her for, don't do that. You could summon her for Quelaag after you defeated her. Oh, her speed is fantastic, but she's dead. Butcher knife. Nice. Let's have a read of that real quick. Oddly large blade wielded by the madwoman haunting the road of sacrifices. Back in the undead settlement, the woman acquired a taste for human flesh, of which she took glee in partaking. And if you remember, Aldrich too has a taste for human flesh, or at least he devours people. Nice. Yay, the Brigand set from Dark Souls 1. Excellent. And here, the Brigand twin daggers. I'm thinking there was a Brigand that she just caught and ate, and that's his equipment. But yeah, that was the thing. Artorias fanboys, who are obsessed with his dominant hand. Which is still kind of stupid, because if you want a left-handed character in Dark Souls, why wouldn't you just go for the Ivory King? Because he is left-handed, there is no doubt about it. Artorias is probably not. But hey, whatever. But yeah, I am just completely done with that subject. So I've pretty much disabled comments on that video. Which, if you're interested in watching, it's, is Artorias on the cover of Dark Souls? I seem to remember there's somewhere you can jump off here, and you can get a thing. Oh god, what's happening? Poison mist. Whoa, that guy went... He went flying. I like how the poison mist moves in this game. I think that's pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Whoa! everything went terrible then. Yeah, that was actually, yeah, that reminds me. There's another thing. People at the time of now, yeah, people over the last few weeks keep talking about like, oh, don't worry about how easy Dark Souls 3 looks. It's because the review copies were easier. And that, I don't know where this rumour started, but it is not true at all. So, actually, I'm pretty sure I do know where the rumour started. It was, okay, let me plunging attack you. Oh, do you see that? Like, did a 180 in the air. That was amazing. But yeah, I actually do know where the rumour started. So Miyazaki said in an interview somewhere that one of the preview builds, note preview build, not review, not the press kit, had toned down difficulty. And we know there were at least 2 different preview builds in the same month. There's the one that me and Sunlight Blade and a load of other people got to play. And then there was the one that, like, pretty much all the other YouTubers got to play. The, like, American one. The American one may have had the toned down difficulty. I'm 90% sure the UK one didn't, as it was an outdated build. You need to stop screeching. Nice. But, yeah. I'm not entirely sure about the preview build, although I'm 90% sure, but I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt that the review build is entirely identical in terms of difficulty, outside of, you know, maybe bugs or something, like an enemy that flies through the wall and instantly kills you, which, you know, I never saw that, but it could happen. Difficulty is the same. Is this where we jump down? And I'll tell you how I confirmed that. I looked at the review footage where I fought Udex Skundir with the Herald, and then I compared with, you know, this Let's Play where we fought Udex, and he did the same amount of damage, he took the same amount of damage, he had the same amount of health. So, yeah, it's the same. If you're really that worried about Dark Souls 3 being easy, just record a Let's Play, because I'm playing like a fool. Just, yeah. Do a Let's Play and you will begin to suck and have a hard time. Alternatively, you can... Now this... I know I'm going off topic again. For some reason that just gave me a mad deja vu to the bridge in the Huntsman's Copse that you can jump on. But yeah, if you are worried about difficulty, honestly, just make the game harder for yourself. If you think you're doing too much damage and bosses don't have enough health, just don't level up, like, your health and damage. Just put every single point into endurance and luck, and then you can play the real Dark Souls 3. But yeah, I've said it like time and again, I don't care about the difficulty in Dark Souls. I care about the game being well made and fun. Would I be upset if the game suddenly became, like, insanely easy and you could one-shot every boss? Well, yeah, but how many games are like that? Like, let's talk about, I don't know, what's like an easy game? I don't know, I can't really think of anything. How about God of War? God of War's pretty easy, even on the hardest difficulty. Like, but you don't one-shot enemies in it. Like, you don't go up to the final boss and go, but only dies, you know? So, I don't know, the difficulty crowd just... Like, if you want to play the game for the challenge, that's absolutely fine. Just... please, stop complaining about it when you haven't played the game. Like, you watch some amazing Japanese player beat the final boss, New Game Plus 7, level 1, using his fist, and you go, oh, this is easy. It's like, well, yeah, of course he's gonna make it look easy, because he's Jesus. Tokyo Jesus. But not everyone is gonna be as good as that guy. Or this guy. Anyway, I'm sorry for all the ranting, but I wanted to get it out of the way. whilst I had the chance. I really hate, by the way, that it gets blurry when you zoom in on things like this. That's not how depth of field is supposed to work, but whatever. It means you have to zoom in manually by just making the camera go whoop. Okay. Anyway, let's talk to these two.
Oh, hello. How do you do? I'm Anri of Astora, unkindled like you. This is Horace, a friend and travelling companion. Are you too in search of the Lords of Cinder? We're well along the road of sacrifices. Below us is the Crucifixion Woods. Beyond the flooded woods lies Farron Keep, home of the Undead Legion. Further yet is the Cathedral of the Deep. We seek the cathedral, home of the grim Aldrich. We may go our separate ways now, but we are both seekers of lords. The next time we cross paths, one may find the other in a time of need. May the flames guide your way.
Okay, I know he said a lot of interesting stuff, but I just want to really quickly point out, see that his shield is really low res looking? I'm pretty sure that's because phantoms and NPCs, or at least phantoms have, like if you load into another player's world as a phantom, your gear will be lower resolution than it was in your own world. That's how it worked in Dark Souls 1 and I think in Dark Souls 2. It looks like it might be the same in Dark Souls 3 because I'm pretty sure if we had that shield, which I'm pretty sure we can get, it would look a lot higher res on our character.
Oh, yes, Horace. He's not very talkative, but don't think ill of him. He is an upstanding, kind-hearted knight, a fine partner for this grueling journey. Without his help, I would have cursed this onerous duty long ago. We are well along the road of beyond the flood. The next may the.
So now that is interesting. On my first character, Anri? I've forgotten how they pronounce their own name. This character right here, Anri, was a female on my first character. And I'm assuming that's because I was a male character. Wow. And now that we've made a female, it looks like Anri is a male. So depending on your character, Anri will be male or female. Incidentally, I found Anri a pretty interesting name because it's kind of... Well, I happen to know that it can be a Japanese name, but it's not like a super Japanese sounding name, you know, like Miyazaki, for example. And I don't know, that's interesting because there's very few kind of Japanese things in Dark... I mean, you can tell Dark Souls is Japanese even though it's not like, you know, anime, but there is a lot of kind of Japanese elements, but you don't get outright Japanese things like someone with a Japanese name, so I found that pretty interesting, especially as they're from Astora. But again, Anri's not... I mean, Anri could be like a Scandinavian name as well. It almost sounds kind of Finnish, you know? But I don't know, it's probably boring that I'm talking about this, but I just found that kind of interesting. And also interesting, they're in the same pose as they were as a female, so yeah. And is it me, or do they sound a little bit like Artorias? I mean, Artorias has some, like, some cut dialogue, but
We are well along the road of sacrifice. Beyond, the next.
it's a little... It's vaguely similar. It's like a slightly high-pitched kind of... It's actually kind of like my voice, funnily enough. Too OP. I could totally voice Anri. I would do a terrible job, though. Because I would just stop halfway through and start screaming about Artorias. And how he's not on the cover. But let's go back to Firelink Shrine. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could voice an NPC? And yeah, I know there's a new NPC there. We'll talk to them in a moment. Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if you had the chance to voice an NPC in Dark Souls? I would just love to voice someone like Skirvir from Demon Souls. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, there we go. I was going to upgrade my Partisan. Oh, it's got... that's slightly annoying, but whatever. And we'll use some Titanite. There we go. Excellent. And we would infuse this at some point when it's worthwhile. But not right now.
Welcome, host. Very well. Then
I wish to level up. Oh, I can level up once. Wow. Maybe... Oh, actually, maybe instead of leveling up, we should buy some stuff.
farewell, maiden.
Yeah, that's cool. But we need to talk to some NPCs and then we'll wrap up this episode. Which I thought was going to be like 20 minutes long. And yet it's already 42 minutes long. That's Dark Souls 3 for you. This entire Let's Play, I keep thinking things are going to be short, but they're not.
Fret not, fret not. My feet are here firmly planted, for I am a lord. Oh, belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better days, but methinks it shall suffice. Now, bring to me a twisted soul. Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In transposing a twisted soul, its true power transferreth to thee. Thy purpose is to seek lords and slay them. What's to fear in a little transposition now?
I will look at like all the boss soul things in one go near the end. Unless there's something like really relevant. Just want to put that out there. Interesting that he says what's to fear in a little transposition though. Like, I mean, he's right, what is there to fear? Like, it's like if you said to someone, oh, don't be afraid to cross the road. It almost sounds like a threat, like you're gonna push them when a car's coming. You know what I mean?
The Undead Legion of Farron is a caravan of undead, sworn by wolf's blood to contain the abyss. The Legion will bury a kingdom at the first sign of exposure. Joyous bunch, really. Gaining admission to the Legion is a matter of some ceremony. Inside their keep, snuffing out the flames of 3 altars opens the door to the wolf blood. Even accursed undead want to believe they're special, it seems. I pity the sorry souls. Gaining admission.
He sure knows a lot about the Undead Farron Legion, doesn't he? Even how to join. Or at least gain access.
You're an unkindled, aren't you? I am Sirius, of the Sunless Realms, former servant of the divinity. Duties we each bear, but one's duty is a solitary affair. I doubt we've much to gain from fraternization. Blessing of the moon upon your journey. I doubt we've much to blessing.
Seems like she could be a Blade of the Dark Moon. Why do I say that? Blessing of the Moon. And she's actually using an S-Stock. You can't really see it that well at the moment, but she is an S-Stock, and if you remember the Anor Londo Firekeeper, the Dark Moon Knightess in the brass armor, she also uses an S-Stock. And I would bet you $2 that she would buff that S-Stock if we attacked her. A sacred braille tome from Carim, filled with advanced miracles. Give to a storyteller to learn advanced Carim miracles. In the Way of White, there is a tradition of placing great faith in the work. the words of the blind, and braille tomes are not unusual.
Oh, Champion of Ash. Welcome back. I was not meant to be a firekeeper, but I am honored to serve you beside the bonfire. The gods are ever merciful. My gratitude lies with them and with you. I am yours now. Your wish is my command. You know, in my home of Carim, I was a nun. I would be pleased to share the tales of miracles with you. Although, to be honest, I only know a few. But if I had a divine tome, I could tell you many tales and more. Oh, only I cannot see. Terribly sorry, but you'll have to find me a divine tome in Braille. You've brought me a Braille divine tome. Now I can tell new tales of miracles. Tales of the greater miracles can be quite the epics. What fun we will have. Have a pleasant journey, Champion of Ash. I pray for your safety.
As it happens, we already have two. I'm not going to give her the dark ones though, because she often complains about So if you remember from Dark Souls 1, the Firekeeper soul mentions how they have something like infinite humanity gnawing at them. I'm pretty sure that's related to what she's talking about when she says like the dark creatures nibbling at her flesh. But I'm going to not give her any dark things and see if that has any effect. Because during my first playthrough, like, her questline didn't go anywhere for me. Like, I managed to do 2 NPC quests, and this time I'm going to try some different things.
Ah, there you are, unkindled one. I wish to express my gratitude for trusting the lowly pyromancer and allowing me to gaze upon this majestic flame. As promised, I will impart pyromancies to you. But first, you'll need a flame of your own. Careful you don't burn yourself with it. To learn pyromancies, you must vow to become my pupil. I know, but such is the way of the world. Respect your elders and so on. And pyromancy, of course, is no exception. Oh, we'll need a pyromancy tome to learn more advanced pyromancies. Though unorthodox, that would be the most expedient way to make progress. If this were the Great Swamp, and you had the luxury of time, we could have trained you the hard way. To learn pyromancy, do not what is a teacher.
And there you go. And there's the hat that I'm probably going to use for most of the playthrough, just because it has the fashion souls of being a crown, which doesn't look stupid. Okay, it doesn't look great, but there's no kind of great looking headsets in this game. And that about does it for this part, I believe. I don't think I've forgotten anything, so can we equip the mace yet? Still 72%. Oh well. We'll fix that one day. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for more Dark Souls 3.
No! You should have waited! Well, it's too late now. I, Siegward of the Knights of Catarina, fight by your side!